Hello everyone, I am Prajwal and today we are going to look at this problem, restaurant rating. This problem is rated as easy on CodeChef and you require basics of heap or the use of set in your favorite programming language to solve this. So guys, if you haven't read the problem yet, go back and read it, try it out and come back and see the solution. With this, let's begin. In this problem, chef has opened a new restaurant and critics give review to these restaurants. Basically, let us say that chef has got some rating R1, R2 till R of K. Now, chef chooses some rating to display onto his website. To do this, he actually chooses the top K by 3 ratings. The top 1/3 of ratings that he has, that is, for example, let us say that chef has 7 ratings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Now chef will choose top 7 by 3, 1/3 of the total ratings that are present. This is equal to 2. It is also given that he will take the floor value of the total number of ratings given to us. So he will choose the top 2 ratings, which are 6 and 7, and will display them onto his website. Now this is an online process, which means that the ratings will keep on adding into this list and we have to update the ratings on the website depending upon the ratings that are added to the list. We are given queries of 2 types. The first is 1 space x. This means that we will add a rating of value x to this list of rating. When we add a value, we have to update the rating that is given on the website also. In the second query, we have to return the minimum index, the minimum rating that is displayed on the website. For example, in this case, 6 and 7 are displayed on the website. So the minimum rating is 6, hence the output will be 6. We have to answer all the queries of type 2, and if there is no rating displayed onto the website, for example, if he has, let's say, 1 rating or 2 rating or no rating at all, then in that case we have to output no reviews yet. The constraints of the problem are, we are given the number of queries n from 1 to 25 into 10 to the power 4, and the value of rating itself can be from 1 to 10 to the power 9. Now let us look at some test cases to further understand the problem. In the first test case, we are given the number of queries as 10. So let us create 2 lists. The first is the rating list, the ratings that we have, and the second is the display, the ratings that we are displaying on the website. Now currently we do not have any rating. In the first query we are given 1, 1. So we will go ahead and add 1. Now we will calculate 1/3, which is 1 by 3. Total number upon 3, which is equal to 0. So we won't display anything. We will now add 7 and calculate 1 by 3rd. So this is 2 by 3 equals 0. So we do not display anything. Now the query is 2, which means that we need to output the minimum that is displayed. But since we are not displaying anything, we will output no reviews yet. Now we will go ahead and add 9. Since 3 by 3 equals 1, we have to display the top 1 rating among all these. So this is equal to 9. Hence we will display 9. The next query is 21. So we will add 21 and compute 4 by 3 equals 1. Now when we add 21, we have to display the top 1 rating. So among these lists, 21 is the top. So we will update 9 and we will add 21 here. Now 8. We will add 8 to our ratings list. Compute the 1/3 as 1 and the top one is already displayed here. Now we will add 5. Now we will compute the 1/3, which is equal to 2. So we have to display the top 2 ratings. Among all these, top 2 ratings are 9 and 21. 21 is already there, hence we will add 9. Now the query is 2, which means we have to output the minimum rating displayed, which is equal to 9. So the output is 9. Now we have to again add 9 here in the ratings list. So we will again add 9 and compute the 1/3, which is again equal to 2. Finally, we have a 2. So we will output the minimum, which is equal to 9 again. So we output 9. Moving on to the solution. In this problem, we have to answer 2 queries. One x, where we have to append the rating x to the list, and the second is 2, where we have to output the minimum value among the top 1/3 ratings. So we can use the process of simulation to solve this. This means that we are going to actually simulate this process and return the output. So we can create two lists, ratings and display. Here ratings is basically the list that is all the ratings that are not displayed, and display is actually the top 1/3 ratings. Let us say that initially we had R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5, and in display we had R2 as the display rating, the top rating. So we can actually erase R2 from this list because it is not going to matter. Now let us say that there's a new rating R6 that we want to add. To do this, we can actually directly add it into this ratings list, and we now compute 1/3 of all the ratings that are present. So we are given 6 ratings. So 6 by 3 is equals 2. This means that we need to add the largest rating to this display list. We initially had top 1 and now we are going to top 2. So we will just iterate over all these ratings and we will display the maximum rating among all these. So let us say that the maximum was R4. So we will erase R4 from here and transfer this to display list. Now we also need to check that this R6 is actually greater than the minimum of this or not, because it might be the case that R6 is greater than the displayed rating list and we need to replace R6 with some rating of the display list. So finally we will check whether R6 is greater than the minimum of R2, R4 or not. If it is, then we will swap them. In this, for the second query, we have to output the minimum of top 1/3. We know that the top 1/3 is present in the display list. So we will just iterate over this list and output the minimum. Now let us look at another important observation. Let us say that ratings represent all the ratings that have not been displayed, and display consists of all the ratings that are displayed on the website. Total is the total number of all the ratings that we have. Now let us say in the query 1, we are going to append R6 to our ratings. In this case, we will just append R6 to the ratings list, and now we have our two cases. The first case is whether this variable total mod 3 is 0 or not. What this means is that since we are going to display the top 1/3 ratings, we have to add a completely new rating into our display set only when the total is a multiple of 3. For example, initially we had 0, then we had 0, then we had 1, because on third we have another rating. So we must have added something to the display list. Now we have the total number of ratings as 6. 6 by 3 equals 2, which means that we have to add a completely new rating from the ratings list to the display list. To add the completely new rating, we are obviously going to take the maximum. So let us say the maximum is R3. Now let us say we are going to add R7 to our ratings list. So we just go ahead and add R7. Now in this case, 7 by 3 is still 2. So we have our other case, which is this R7 is greater than the minimum of the ratings that are displayed. So R7 is greater than minimum of R5, R3. In this case, we have to swap the minimum and the R7. Basically, you can notice that in both the cases, the number of swaps that we are doing, either we are adding or we are swapping, is at most 1. We are either going to do it or we are not going to do it at all. This actually helps to reduce our time complexity to order of n per query. This is order of n because we need to iterate over the ratings list and the display list to get the minimum and the maximum. We will now see how to optimize this order n to further time complexity to pass our solution. Moving on to the implementation. So currently we have our following algorithm. We have two lists, rating and display, and total represents the total number of ratings that we have. To answer query 1, we will append x to our rating and compute 1/3 of the total ratings. If it is greater than the display size, then we will push the max of rating to our display and erase this from our rating. Now, if max of rating is greater than min of display, which means that the element x can be larger than the minimum of display, then in that case, we will just swap them. To swap them, we can push the minimum of display to rating and maximum of rating to display and then erase them from their corresponding list. To answer query 2, we will just return minimum of display. To find the minimum and maximum, let us say that we use a list. Then in this case, to find minimum and maximum, the complexity will be order of n. And we have to find minimum and maximum for all the queries. So the final time complexity is going to be order of n square. The operation append push is order of 1. But in the worst case, we can have all the queries for finding min and maximum, and this is order of n square. Now, by looking at this, you can see that we can actually use a data structure called as heap, or I use set. Both have the same time complexity. The process of finding minimum and maximum can be done in order of log n time. Also, the append is also done in order of log n time. So this actually reduces our overall time complexity and our final time complexity becomes order of n log n. And this will actually pass our time limit. The space complexity in both the cases is order of n because we need to store these ratings list or display list or set. Now let us move on to the code. So I have two multisets of display rating and ratings. Then I have processed the input. If the query type is 1, then in this case we just append the new rating to our ratings list, the ratings multiset, and we increment our total by 1. Now if total mod 3 is 0, which means that we have to add a completely new rating. In this case, we will find the maximum, which is the last element of this multiset, and append it into our display list and erase it from our ratings list. Now, if display list has size greater than 0, which means that there are numbers that are displayed on the website. In this case, we will check whether the largest element from ratings is greater than the smallest element from the displayed or not. This basically is the second case that we discussed about, whether this new rating is greater than the displayed, the minimum of the displayed or not. If that is the case, we will just swap it. For the second query, we will just output the minimum value only if the size is greater than 0. So if size is equal to 0, we will output no reviews yet. Else we will output the first element, the top element, which is the minimum. So guys, this is pretty much the whole code. Try to code it yourself, and if you face an issue, then come back and see it again. So guys, I hope you understood the problem clearly. If you have any questions, drop a comment in the comment section. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe to get our latest updates from CodeChef. Thank you and goodbye.